Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is King Smile of King Smile Photographer. You know that creative photographer that always love creating. Well, this is going to be a retouching tutorial. I'll be teaching you guys how I retouch my natural light outdoor photos. As you can see, the image is still having a little bit of details. Now, showing you that the retouching has to make it look very natural, and a little bit of modification was done. But I'm going to show you how to do all that in this tutorial. I'll be teaching you how to do your own retouching, making it look very simple while still maintaining all the details. But what we're using for the retouching is what you call the Ultimate Retouch plugin, available on Photoshop 2015 to 2019. On 2020, 2021, it's not available. So if you want to use this Ultimate Retouch, it has to be within the version of 2015 to 2019. This is for Adobe Photoshop 2017 as well. I'm using for this training. If you already have it on your system, you can go to your extension and click on the Ultimate Retouch palette. It is going to highlight here and come for you. But if you don't have it, I could send this setup to you and how to install it, but it's not for free. Yes, that one is not for free. But if you have it, you can buy it online if you want. But if you want me to give it to you, just a little bit of amount, and I'll forward it to you with the settings on how to install it. Well, let's go to the picture we are going to be retouching. This is our image. I've already color graded this image. You can see in my next tutorial how I did the color grade on this image. This is the first part of the color grade I did. I still went ahead to do a little bit of modification to the picture as it concerns the color grade. Now, how do I retouch my outdoor natural light pictures? First of all, I'm going to teach you the brush patterns. There's what we call the face brush patterns. There are patterns to brushing a face, and if you miss those patterns, you will not get the face tune well. So now let me teach you about your brush patterns. Yeah, you can see this is your brush. Always brush the lights in the image. Don't brush lights out. You can always brush your lights in your image. Here we have light here. We have light here. Now let me make it easier for you guys. Let me create a black and white filter. This is your black and white filter. And I'm going to reduce the red to really expose the sides that are white and side that are black, yeah, which is the shadows and highlight. That's how they call it. I'm just calling it white and black for you to understand how it works perfectly well. You can see now that here are your highlights, and yeah, here are your highlights. These places are your highlights. You can see the highlights here. Yeah, all these places are your highlights. So you don't remove these highlights because it is this highlight that defines the picture. You can only modify it to look nice. Yeah, you can see now that this is your highlight. This is a little bit of highlight. Yeah, these are some of your highlights here. Okay, so this is the natural light pictures. I did not use any soft light. My major source of light was the ambience coming from the sun, which is the available light at that present time. Okay, so I'm going to show you now. When you retouch, there is a brush pattern you use to retouch. You don't retouch by holding your brush like this to leave it. No, the brush pattern goes like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So you don't hold your brush down like this before you leave it. No, it is going to spoil the face pattern. So your brush pattern has to be 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Like if you're holding your mouse or your pen, you could just hold it down and leave it, hold it down and do it. Mind you, you can increasing your brush size and reducing it depending on the area you're brushing. If you're brushing somewhere like this place now, you make your brush a little bit big, but you reduce it. If you're brushing somewhere here, you can make it small. If you're brushing somewhere here, you can make it also small. So the brush patterns will define how good the person's face will be. You will do this the first time, you might not get it because it takes a long time to practice, and the more you practice it, the more it becomes simpler for you to use. So for you to be able to do this perfectly well, after watching the tutorial over and over again, you have to understand that each people has a brush pattern, and each pattern will determine how your image is going to look like. This is where some people change the resemblance of a person in a photo, is because they don't understand the brush patterns. So now you have to go in the direction of 1 1 1 1. Don't draw it long like this before you leave your brush. It should be short. You go to the next place, it should be short. Now let me go to my brush settings. This is my mixer brush I use to to brush. Now you can see now that my wet is 30, my load is 100, my mix is 100, my flow is 50. Now if you're using version of Photoshop like 2018 and 2019, there is something extra here. You could leave it at 5 or 10, but this Photoshop works perfectly well for me, so it is what I use for almost all my tutorials. Now let us go to how to use the frequency separation is under the ultimate retouch to color grade our photos. Yeah, let me delete just this one here. Let me still keep this one to show you the brush patterns. I'm going to hide it now. So now what do you do if your image is distant like this and it has the size is at maximum? We have 9 by 14 inches. Yeah, this one here. If you're retouching a distant picture, you could use the variation of 2, but if you're retouching portrait, you could use variation of 4. So I'm going to click on my 2F version. Now I'm going to click on it, double click on it. It's going to load for me. So if I'm retouching the closed picture, I'm going to use the variation 4, but if I'm retouching a distance picture, I always use 2, so it works perfectly well for me. This is under my version blog. I use 2. I'm going to click on it again, then you will see how the result is going to be like. It will load everything for you to do. Now I'm going to zoom in my image. I'm going to on my navigator button, yeah, for me to be seeing what I'm retouching well. To do that, just go to your Windows navigator and on it, drag it here. Lovely. Okay, now let us move into our picture. Don't forget, I showed you the brush patterns. I said you should not brush a very long distance. Your brush should be short. Now we'll click on our brush here. What are you doing? You're looking for errors to correct. Now this picture doesn't have much errors, but you're going to see how we are going to be able to fix a little bit of errors the image have and make it look one color. This is like a skin softening and a frequency separation in one, so it does it too. So once you finish this one, you don't need to do any other thing again concerning the skin on Photoshop apart from your dodge and bond that you do. Yeah, so I'm going to hide my texture manual layer so that I'll be able to see where I'm brushing well. Now let me remove this law. I'm click on my brush and I'll select my volume retouch and I'll brush the way I explained to you. Now don't forget, the pattern I showed you is 1 1 1 1, not one that you hold it for a very long time. Now it's going to make the result to be different, so it doesn't work like that here. Okay, so let us go now. We're retouching our image. You can see the 1 1 I'm drawing. You can see the 1 1 I'm drawing here. Yeah, lovely. You might not see any result now, but I'm going to show you how it was before and how it is now, so that you know what we are talking about. So basically, this is what I do for all my outdoor images, those ones that need retouch, because some pictures don't actually need retouch. They are beautiful like that. As far as you've added your color grading to it, it looks very fine. You just go ahead and upload it. It looks very lovely and nice. Yeah, so what you're doing now, don't brush shadows to highlights, but you can brush highlight to shadows to do your corrections here, which is don't go and brush this black place to here. You see the way it is now. It is not nice, but I can brush this one down here to make sure I get what I'm doing perfectly well. Now my navigator is on to guide me so that I can be able to see what I'm doing at the end point. You can, okay, I'm going to move it down. Okay, let's do a little bit of correction here. You might be looking at it that nothing is going on, but don't worry, you see it just now. When I'm going to move it, I'm going to show you how it is. Okay, don't forget, the essence of retouching an image is to enhance the beauty of the person, but the major result should be the same person. You should not go and retouch somebody now, the person will be looking like his past, very ugly. You should be able to retouch the person and the person should look like his or her future, very bright and beautiful, of course. Like that song said, all things bright are beautiful. Alright, so now I am retouching the legs. I think the legs have a little bit of errors and blemishes. Yeah, so I'm doing all that now. Okay, you can see the distance I'm going, the length, the way I'm picking my brush. I'm not holding it long, and I'm reducing and I'm increasing the size, and I'm seeing my result here where I'm doing perfectly well, if it's working for me or not. Yeah, I'm seeing it in that place. Lovely. Let's go. think we're almost done with this image. So basically, when you understand how to use the retouch, it is actually very simple for you to get your results on your picture. It's very simple. Yeah. Okay, so at this point I think I've finished my retouch. Under how many seconds or minutes rather, I finished my retouch. Let me not go and exaggerate. English is not your mate. Anyways, okay, yeah, I think I'm done now. Now let's see our before. This is our before and this is our after. You can see the big difference our image have. Now you can see how we were able to modify the skin tone. Now the skin tone looks worn. This is before and this is after. This is before and this is after. So guys, so this is how I do my retouch on my pictures. Almost all my outdoor pictures, this is how I retouch them. I'm going to go ahead and merge now. Okay, so the other thing you just need to do is what you call your dodge and burn. Let me just do the manual dodge and burn. Create a new layer, go to my edit, go to my fill, go to 50% gray, click on OK, change my blend mode to soft light, duplicate this, rename this dodge, rename this burn, group them together, rename it dodge and burn. Alright, then I'm going to open my layer. I'm going to click on my burn tool, change my opacity to maybe 15. Yeah, so I'm going to zoom in. So what you're dodging is you're dodging the darker side and you're burning the darker side and you're dodging the lighter side. Yeah, so let me just create a little bit of burn for her, some places that needs burn, side of her face, her hair. So what you're doing is like a little bit of modification. That's what you're doing to her body. I think I love what I have now. I'm going to click on my dodge. I'm going to go ahead and select my dodge. Here is still 15. Now I'm going to dodge the up here. What I'm doing is I'm making that place to pop. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm adding pop to it. Pop smoke. Alright, it's not pop smoke. This is just normal skin pop to add skin, to add extra light to your pictures. Yeah, lovely. Okay guys, so I think I'm done. This is my before and this is my after. You can see how the picture modification made it look very nice and fine. If the harshness is too much, you can just go ahead and reduce the opacity. And of course, well, yeah, this is how I retouched this and this. These three pictures you're seeing here, this is how I retouched all of them and the whole of this set. My name is King Smile of King Smile Photography. Keep on creating.